Okay, welcome to the Nadex Application and Strategy webinar series. My name is John Skelton. I'm with apexinvesting.com. Apex is not owned by Nadex. Nadex is not owned by Apex. We're two separate different companies there. We here at Apex, we're an education company. We do a lot of teaching and free education, free webinars, and training systems, trading strategies on Nadex and futures and Forex and all type of other trading products there. But trading futures, options, or any financial instrument involves risk, may not be suitable for every investor. Apex recommends you seek independent advice before making any decisions. The information and strategies contained here in this webinar are the property of Apex Investing, may not be shared or distributed without express written permission. Any trading decisions you make are your sole responsibility. And the information presented in this webinar is for informational purposes only, not an offer or solicitation of an offer to buy or sell any particular financial instrument offered by Nadex. And past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay. For those of you brand new to Nadex, hop on over to nadex.com. And if you don't have one of these, make sure, give me just a second here. So hop on over to nadex.com. You can browse through here and get all the information about the different contracts and contract specs that Nadex has to offer. We go right here to Trading tab, go down to the third one, Demo Trading Platform. If you don't have a demo account with Nadex, go ahead and open one right now, even while we're on the webinar. It may help you walk through with us and understand some. Very simple to do, only takes you a couple minutes. All you got to do is hop in here, create a username, enter create a username, first and last name, phone number, and email address. All right, and in just a few minutes, what they will do is they will send you a temporary password, and you'll be able to use that to log right into your Nadex demo account. Brand new Nadex demo account, they will give you $25,000 of demo money. You can hop in, learn the platform, learn the different products, get comfortable with entering and exiting orders on the platform, test out new strategies, new systems. Once you have that done, all you got to do is go right here to My Account, and you can go into the Settings tab right here, and you can go ahead and change your password. All right, the password they send you will be a temporary one. You can go in there and change it to whatever you'd like it to be. So Nadex will give you a free demo account for 2 weeks. After that, once you open a live account with Nadex, they will go ahead. All you got to do to open a live account with Nadex is a minimum of $100 deposit. Okay, you can put more than that in there, obviously, but the minimum to open is only $100. And once you place one live trade, doesn't matter if that's a $70 risk trade or a $7 risk trade, doesn't matter. Once you've executed one live trade in your live account, you can give Nadex a call and ask them to extend your demo account, and they'll extend that up to 1 year. Okay, that way you have your live account, and then you always also have a demo account to be able to test new strategies and new systems. Okay, let's see here. Steve is having some issues here with his audio. Let me just post this to him real quick, this link here. Give me just a second. There we go. So if you don't have a demo account, hop on over even right now, get a demo account going, and you'll have a demo account with $25,000 of demo money in it to start getting to know the Nadex platform, be familiar with the platform, entering and exit orders, and so on. Anytime you're trying something new, you always want to test it out in demo or sim, not with your live money, obviously. The other thing to do is hop on over to apexinvesting.com. You'll see a tab that says join for free. You can sign up, create a free username and password, and that will give you full access to our website here at Apex. Okay, like I said, we're an education company. We're a group of traders helping traders. I'm going to show you a few things here. There's a lot of information on our site. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Don't feel you have to watch everything in order to do anything. Just going to give you a couple of key pointers here, some places you want to go to. First of all, right here are weekly webinars. That will give you a calendar schedule of all the webinars we do. Not only the ones here Monday nights for Nadex, but we do other webinars throughout the week as well. Right here under the questions tab, go down to the second tab, Trading Questions Forum. This is very important. There's a lot of information in here that you're going to want to pay attention to. Okay, so a bunch of different sections in here about trading, trading psychology, risk management, whole section for strategies and systems, step-by-step videos and training courses. But here, if you scroll to the bottom, right down here, watch webinars here. Okay, this is where all of our webinars are placed. See right here, this tab, newest webinars. That is where this webinar tonight will be posted at. Okay, we are recording this. We will post it there. I should have it posted there for you later tonight, or otherwise first thing in the morning. You can also go in here to newest webinars and watch the last several weeks of webinars that we've done. Tonight's webinar, I'm going to be covering, our topic is trading part-time and at night with Nadex products. I'm going to kind of quickly touch base on a couple of different strategies and systems we use for part-time trades. And we've actually covered those systems in detail over the last couple of weeks. So I'm just going to briefly touch on tonight as we go through. I'm not going to really take time and dig into exact entry and exit and setups on the charts. You can go back and watch those videos. I'll also show you at the end exactly where to go for not just a webinar on them, but step-by-step training on them, okay? Also here, we have a full library of helpful videos for you, especially for those of you brand new to trading Nadex. Right here, Nadex Binary webinars. It's a whole library of binary webinars. Everything from the basics of binaries, how a binary works, how to use the platform, strategies, systems, different ways to trade them, you know, the difference of hourly binaries, 20-minute binaries, 5-minute, anything you possibly want to know. And this is all free for you. This is all free access to watch these Nadex spread webinars, getting started with Nadex, Nadex platform tutorials, how to use the platform, how to place orders, how to exit orders early, how to customize the platform. Anything you possibly need to know to get started trading on Nadex is right there for you, okay? Real quick, when we go back to our home page here, one other section or two other sections you want to pay attention to. Right here under Binary Essentials, if you're a Nadex trader, this is where you want to be, is under this tab here, okay? Talk to you about some of our different options. Right here, step number 3, step-by-step training courses. And I'm going to reference this again at the end of the webinar because, like I said, we're going to quickly touch base on a few of these strategies and systems. But right there under that tab, when you go to training or trading system courses, these first two right here, Binary Hunter, 5-minute binary, we're going to talk about those a little bit tonight. But those two sections right there will literally give you step-by-step walkthroughs of how we do those systems. Everything from setting up charts, entry rules, exit rules, picking the right binary, how to take profits. I mean, everything you need to know, it's step-by-step there, okay? So we're going to touch on them tonight, but I'm going to direct you back to them because we're going to talk about 3 or 4 different strategies. You may prefer one over the other. I'm going to show you where you can go to find detailed step-by-step walkthroughs for each of those strategies, okay? As you see here, the strangles, the butterflies. The other thing we're going to talk about tonight is right here under the News tab, News Trading Plan, okay? And I'll touch base on this again a little bit later. We've talked about this before. We go through and every week we update this news calendar. Now, obviously this is not every single news event that's going on in the world. These are the news events that historically have shown to be the ones that you want to be aware of and look to possibly take advantage of. Okay, there might be other news events or releases or a speech by one of the Fed heads or something that, you know, is not really going to have a big effect on the market normally. But what you see on here, some of them just say be aware, you know, meaning, hey, this is about to come out or this announcement is about to come out. It could have a little bit of effect on the market, could cause a little quick spike in the market or something. So if you're in a trade and it's coming up to that time, you might want to tighten your stop, trail your stop, may want to exit the trade. Just be aware of it, okay? And if you click on one of these that say be aware, it will pull up another box here for you and just says, hey, be aware this is coming out. All right, we don't have any kind of plan or trade suggestion there for you. It's just more of a be aware, especially if you're in a trade. Now, others, though, you'll see might say iron condor, or you might see some that say straddle or strangle. And what these are trades that historically do have an effect on the market. And we actually have a trade plan for them. Like right here is a straddle, right here is an iron condor. And if you click on that, we'll actually tell you, okay, this is for the Aussie building approvals, comes out at 9:30 p.m. We recommend an iron condor. So we're looking to find an iron condor on the Aussie dollar. We want to enter as early as 9 p.m. with an expiration of 11 p.m. for a minimum profit of $30 per contract. Guys, this is basically a free news calendar with free trading tips, kind of a trading plan here for you. This doesn't cost you anything. This is part of free members on our site, okay? You can look right here. This one here says a straddle. Well, that same thing. You go in here and it tells you exactly what we're looking for, okay? What time it's coming out, what time we're looking to enter, and so on. Now, some of you may say, what's an iron condor? What's a straddle? Well, I'm going to show you where you can get that information, okay? In fact, right underneath, if you scroll down, right underneath the news trading plan, you'll see a bunch of videos here. How to trade news events, how to trade the weekly oil inventory report with binaries, step-by-step iron condors. You probably saw that most of those news trade plans, we recommended iron condors. Well, what's an iron condor? Bam, right there. Step-by-step iron condors on Nadex spreads, how to use the iron condor calculator. It's all right there for you on one page, okay? And this is very, very important for anything you're trading. But as you see here, iron condors, just so you guys know, iron condors are used with Nadex spreads. Straddles, for example, are used with spreads. Sometimes we'll have strangles that are used with binaries, butterflies used with binaries. So there's both in here, okay? Both, whether you're a binary trader or a spread trader, but take advantage of that, okay? Those are the three. There's a ton of other stuff on our site. Again, this is not a sales pitch here by any means. Go here, sign up for free. Those are the places you want to pay specific attention to, is the news section and the forum with the library of free webinars. And then right here also under Binary Essentials, again, the trading system courses, everything you need step by step. And again, when I say step by step and course, for example, some of these are truly set up in course style training. And what I mean by that is it's a literal course. Right here, the 5-minute, we're going to talk tonight, and I'm going to show you some charts about how to trade 5 minutes. But when you go through this course, which is absolutely free, it literally is a course style, meaning you have to answer a little quick quiz at the end of each one of these units to get to the next unit, just to make sure you understand it. We go through live trades, our trade rooms, setting up charts, scanning for the right binary, entry rules, exact entry rules, how to enter again, submitting your orders. It's step by step there for you, everything you'd possibly need to know, okay? So hop on over there, apexinvesting.com. We'll come back to this towards the end, because after I've reviewed a few of these with you, you might find that you're more interested in one over the other. I'm going to review with you at the end where to get detailed information to that, okay? So our topic tonight, part-time and nighttime trading. What markets can I trade at night? Nighttime trading strategies, how to scalp with Nadex binaries, what's the best instrument to scalp with, and why paying attention to news would be an important thing to do, okay? So I already talked to you about where to get some free education, where to find previous webinars, and where to find step-by-step on the different strategies and systems. Now, as we go through here, guys, we've got a lot of people, we've got a couple hundred people on here with us tonight on the webinar. We've already got some questions coming through. Feel free to ask your questions. I will get to them just as soon as I can. If I don't get to them right away, I may be waiting because I might be answering that question for you in the next section. Otherwise, at the end, I'll try to go back and catch up on any questions I might have missed. That way we don't drag it out too long. I know some people are on a time crunch here. So let's get through, feel free to ask your questions, but we're going to get through the current sections and what we're covering tonight, and then I'll take as much time as I need at the end to catch up on any other questions, okay? So part-time, a lot of you that have been joining us over the last few weeks, some of you have been with us a long time, some of you are brand new. So some of what we're covering tonight may be very basic. Some of you might have heard it 100 times. For some of you, this is going to be brand new, okay? For some of you, some of this is brand new, first time you've heard it. For others, you've heard it before, but we're going to add to it. So for those of you brand new, feel free to ask questions. For those of you that have been with us a while, bear with us while we kind of go through some basics. We all have to keep in mind that even though we may have heard something 100 times, we also had a first time of hearing it as well. You know, we all started at the same place here. And a lot of us, and a lot of you on here, started off part-time. We didn't, you know, look up trading and start learning trading and say, I'm going to quit my job and start trading full-time. A lot of us started part-time, and we slowly built up our accounts, and some of us are still part-time, some of us are full-time. But starting off, you don't always have 8 hours a day to sit in front of a chart and sit in front of a computer monitoring all your trades. You may have a full-time job. You may only be able to trade early in the morning before you go to work, or a lot of you, you know, trade at night when you get home from work, and some of you can't trade every single night either. Okay, we also have some traders that love taking advantage of the 5-minute binaries, like on their lunch breaks at work. And so that's why we're going to talk about 5-minute binaries as well. And that is one of the things that the beauty of Nadex is, the different options that they have. And we'll cover some more of these in depth here as we go through the different sections. But just to pull up the Nadex platform real quick here, for example, 5-minute binaries, okay? Right now, Nadex offers the 5-minute binary contracts on 4 different FX pair: Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, pound dollar, and the dollar yen. And what does that mean? Well, that means that every 5 minutes, there's a new binary contract. Every 5 minutes, a new binary contract starts, and then 5 minutes later, it expires. And then a new one starts. So there's literally every 5 minutes an expiration time that you can take advantage of on 4 different markets. Now, 5-minute binaries are offered 23 hours a day. They don't offer them between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time. And there are not expirations every hour on the hour. What I mean by that is, you know, you'll have one at, you know, 7:45, 7:50, 7:55, but there won't be an 8 o'clock on the hour expiration. They skip that 5 minutes, okay? But you have hourly binaries and intraday binaries that expire every hour, okay? So if I was to go over here to Forex binaries, Aussie dollar, right now, what do we have open? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then you've got your longer term dailies. There's always something available on Nadex. During the daytime, not only do you have the 5-minute binaries, your weekly binaries, your daily binaries, and your intraday binary, you also have 20-minute binaries that are offered on the 4 U.S. indices. And what I mean by that is, if you go under indices, binaries here, you've got some of your overseas ones: China, Germany, Japan. These bottom 4, US Tech, US 500, small cap, and Wall Street, those are the US stock indexes, okay? Which is the Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. And any time frames so those 4 there have the 20-minute binaries offered on them, okay? So somebody's asking, what is the time zone shown? Anything you see listed on Nadex is going to be Eastern time. So any expiration times you see listed anywhere, anytime on the Nadex platform is all going to be in Eastern time. Okay. Dave's saying, where are the 20-minute binaries? Well, the 20-minute binaries are only offered during the daytime. Okay. They're offered during the daytime when the trading session, the trading pits are open on those 4 U.S. stock indexes. So I believe the first one opens up at 9:40 a.m. And expires at 10 o'clock. Then you have a 10:20 expiration, 10:40, 11 o'clock, and goes all the way to 4 o'clock. Okay, so the 20-minute binaries that are offered on these 4 are offered during the daytime. Also during the daytime, you have daily and every hour binaries on the indexes. On FX, which is the Forex pairs, okay, yes, Dave, exactly. The 20-minute binaries are only on those 4 FX or those 4 stock indexes during the daytime. The 5-minute binaries are offered on these 4 FX pairs 23 hours a day. But also on FX, you've got hourly expirations and daily. So there's a ton of different ones, okay? And if you're ever unclear about that, hop on over to nadex.com and go right here to markets, and it'll list it out for you. Stock indexes, Forex, commodities, events, Bitcoin. Like right here, if you go to stock indexes, okay, and you go to contract specs. So if you ever get confused on, wait a minute, where are the 5-minute binaries on the US tech? Well, they don't have 5-minute binaries on that. They only have 5-minute binaries on Forex, okay? So you can pull up the contract specs here. And for example, the Wall Street 30, which is the Dow, it'll show you exactly what they have. They've got 20-minute binaries, intraday binaries, dailies, and weeklies. It'll show you exactly the expiration times, the number of contracts that they offer during those times, and what the strike width is. All right. What do I mean by strike width? What does that mean? Strike width is right here. See, if we go to Aussie dollar, we're looking at the 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. expiration. Okay. There's a bunch of them listed here. There's a bunch of different strikes. And strike width means what is the width? What's the distance between the strikes? As you see right here, it's 5. See, this one's 77.08, 77.13, 77.18. They're 5 ticks wide, those strikes. All right. So if you ever have questions about what is offered on what instruments, you can go, and you'll learn it as you dig in, you know, and as you get familiar with Nadex. You can go right there to the contract specs, and it will show you. Okay. Yes, Dave, they do have crude. They have oil. On commodities, you've got oil, gold, natural gas, copper, silver, soybeans, corn. You've got all kind of stuff. You've got stock indexes. You've got 10 different Forex pairs right here that have binary contracts on them, and then you've got the 4 different pairs that have 5 minutes. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff there for you, and that's kind of, so I appreciate those questions because that kind of helps me nail down my point to you, which is even if you're only a part-time trader. See, a lot of people think, I want to get into trading, but I have a full-time job and I work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, so I'm at work when all the U.S. markets are open, and so I can't trade. Okay, and that's not the case. All right, 23 hours a day, you've got opportunities every 5 minutes on 4 different indices. Okay, you've got 11 expirations an hour times 4. That's 44 opportunities to trade every hour, on top of the hourly binaries that expire on the different Forex pairs, on top of the dailies that expire at 3 a.m., 7, 11, 3, and plus you got spreads. We haven't talked about spreads. You've also got spreads at night and at daytime. And by the way, I'm not going to talk about just nighttime. I'm talking about nighttime and part-time, whether that's day or night, but we also have spreads. I mean, even if you go to the Aussie dollar right now on spreads, or let's go to euro dollar. Everybody knows euro dollar. Well, not only do you have a ton of different binary options, but we also got a bunch of spread options as well, whether they be at the end of the day tomorrow, 2-hour spreads, 4-hour spreads, all kind of stuff. So my point is, we'll look at spreads for a minute. My point is, even with very limited time, there's always something available for you on Nadex, whether it be a binary or a spread, a long-term binary or short-term binary. Okay, so again, like I said, some of you aren't able to sit there all day and trade in front of a chart and watch it. You're looking at early morning, early evening, or lunch breaks. So long-term strategies, you know, a lot of you, if you're new to trading, you've seen a bunch of stuff online, you've watched a bunch of videos, you've read a bunch of books about these long-term trading strategies and trend trading strategies where you've got to wait for everything to line up just right, and you enter this trade, and you've got to monitor it for hours or days or weeks, and that just doesn't work for you because of the time. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is shorter term type strategies for part-timers. Okay, I'm already getting some questions here. What's the best time to start morning trading, or what's the best markets to look at if I'm trading, you know, at night? Well, let's talk about that. We just talked about how during the daytime, for the U.S. session, during the daytime, a lot of the pits open up at 8, 9, 9:30, right? Depending on what you're trading, gold and oil and stock indices, and they're open during the day and they're closed in the afternoon. But if you notice there, Nadex also offered overseas stuff, overseas indices, and the Forex pairs at night. Well, the Forex pairs are offered all the time, but those Forex pairs were Aussie and yen and euros and all kind of stuff there. So in the early evenings, even though the U.S. session is closed, there's not going to be a ton of movement at night on gold and oil and you know, the Dow and the NASDAQ, right? But early evening, you have the Australian market that's opened up. Okay, so just like here in the U.S., 9:30 a.m. Eastern time is when all those indexes and all that morning session opens up and stuff starts going crazy. Well, early evening in Australia, about 7 o'clock, that's what's happened over there. It's their early morning session. It's their pit market opens. It's their news and press releases that start affecting their market and also starts affecting the Aussie, the currency. And so then what happens? That means that can affect the Aussie dollar, right? And if it's, you know, major news, when something affects one currency and therefore another currency, if the Aussie is affecting the dollar can also start affecting the dollar yen, the euro dollar. It's kind of a domino effect there. Then you also have Japan opening up, and that can affect, you know, the Nikkei, it could affect the yen. And so you start to get some movement, particularly in those two markets. So what does that mean to you? How does that help you? Or am I just rambling here giving you information you know? Well, let's say that you are trading at night and you want to trade these 5-minute binaries. Well, again, the 5-minute binaries are available on these 4 markets. So I'm not saying that at night you won't have any early evening. Let's talk about early evening first. I'm not saying that you won't have movement on the euro dollar or the pound dollar, because you definitely can. But what are the 2 pairs that you might want to pay closer attention to? Let's say you're a early evening part-time trader and you're trading from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Well, what are the first 2 pairs you want to pay the most attention to? Because I found that that's another key issue for part-time traders. Is they work all day, they get off work, they're taking care of the kids, they're doing dinner, doing family thing, they want to sit and trade, and they're looking at all these different options. Do I want to look at this index? Well, let me pull that up, and let me pull up a chart on that, and then let me go. And you find yourself for 2 hours, you're going back and forth, just trying to look and see what's out there. Next thing you know, your night's over. So part of a big key of part-time trading is knowing what to trade, what to look at, what to focus your attention on. If you've only got limited time that you can give to trading, where do you want to put that time in? Okay, and that's kind of a key thing here that I'm going to kind of bring back around full circle back to our news calendar in a minute. But if you're early evening, US markets are closed, all that stuff's closed, nothing going on, you want to know what is where is something going on. Okay, in early evening, it's Forex. That's where you want to look, is the Forex pairs. All right, now, yes, you can trade indices, you can trade, you know, the Japan markets and China and all that, but I would suggest, because that's a beast all in and of itself, focus on Forex. You've got your 5-minute binaries, and then you've also got a bunch of FX pairs here. Okay, some of these have hourly expirations, some of these have a couple expirations at night, and then on these 4 you've got expirations every 5 minutes. So early evening, the 2 you want to pay the most attention to is Aussie dollar, because Australia's opening up, and dollar yen, because Japan's opening up. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Or maybe you're not a binary trader, maybe you're a spread trader. You trade spreads with Nadex. Well, same thing there. Okay, you want to be focused more on those 2 particular instruments at night. Somebody's asking, what is the difference between Forex and indices? Okay, very basic difference here. Up here, indices. Indices means indexes, a stock index. All right, so that's these here. These bottom 4 are the U.S. stock indexes, like the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. That's an index of stocks. All right. For example, that's looking at, you know, US 500, looking at 500 different stocks overall. That's the index of stocks. Okay, that's a stock market index. FX means Forex, which is currencies, which is, you know, the dollar compared to the euro, or the dollar compared to the yen. Okay, so one is indices is stock indexes. Forex is foreign exchange, like currencies. Okay, so that's the difference there. So that's why those can have a bigger effect during that time. So they are actually, Tony, if you go here, they do offer the FTSE and the German DAX, okay, as far as European indices. All right, so those are the 2 that are offered right now as far as Europe. Okay. Let's see here, Dave. Yes, makes sense. I'm down under, so the time difference over here is at night. I can catch the London time. Okay, let's talk about that. Dave set me up perfectly there. So if I'm trading early evening, those are the ones I want to pay attention to, okay, because that's what's opening up. And again, when I say early evening, or when I mention any hours, I'm quoting everything in Eastern time, okay? So, but what happens about 3 a.m. Eastern time? What do you start seeing moving then? So what happened is early evening, Australia and Japan open up. So you see some good action there. So then sometimes around 11 or 12, like it might start to slow down a little bit, just like what happens here in the US around lunchtime or early afternoon, kind of slows down, right? But then around 3 p.m., what starts happening there? Well, European markets start opening up, okay? So then what are you probably going to start seeing some movement on? Well, that's when you might start seeing all the other pairs start to light up. And let me log back into my Nadex account here so I can show you. Because some of you here on the webinar with us are all over the world. You know, as soon as we opened up here, some people were saying, you know, hello from Canada, hello from Europe, hello from Australia, I'm in Indonesia. You know, a lot of you are here in the US, but we have some of you on with us that are all over the world. And so keep that in mind. Any time frame I quote is the time frame on Nadex, which is Eastern time here in the US. So early evening, Australia, Japan. But middle of the night, about 3 a.m., when Europe starts to open, what pairs might start moving then? Is the Aussie dollar and the dollar yen going to move as much when Europe opens up as maybe the euro dollar and the pound dollar? Well, it depends. I mean, depends on the news. I mean, it can make everything move. But more likely, if you're trading from 3 a.m. to, say, 6 or 7 a.m., you're going to want to be focused more on those European markets because that's what's moving. If I'm a part-time trader, I've got very limited time to trade, to take away from my life, take away from my family, add on to my existing job. I want to know what's moving. I want to know what to focus on trading. So if you're trading 5-minute binaries, for example, overnight, 3 a.m. to 6 or 7 a.m., you're going to want to pay attention to all 4 of them, but the 2 main ones are euro dollar and pound dollar, right? If you're trading the stock indexes, then you might want to be looking at the German DAX or, the London FTSE. All right, those are European markets. Okay, so those are the ones you want to look at there. And again, I'm kind of focusing here more a little bit on binaries, but we also have spreads to look at. Okay, you can, whether you're trading spreads like right now on the euro dollar, for example, you've got a daily spread that expires at 3 p.m. tomorrow. You've got a spread that expires at 9 p.m., a spread at 8 p.m., spreads at 11 p.m. And if you click on one of these, not only do you have all those different time frames, but you've also got like 3 different spreads in each time frame. So again, there's always something to trade with Nadex, whether you're trading spreads or binaries, longer term binaries. See, there we go. Okay. LW, like I mentioned, I'll get to those questions here as soon as I can. You're asking, do the 20-minute binaries provide as much opportunity with the 90-cent charged and only 20 minutes to be right? A binary is a binary, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, hourly, daily, or weekly. It's still the same fees of 90 cents on each side. Okay. The longer term you go with the binary, yes, the longer you have to be right. That's why it's different strategies and different systems, and I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit here. But if you're a part-time trader and you only have a certain amount of time, then you may prefer a 5-minute binary. So you can sit there and watch it and manage your trade. If you get into a longer term trade and you place the trade you do a daily binary, for example, you place the trade early in the morning, you're at work all day, you can't really watch it, So honestly, I'm not trying to avoid answering your question. It's a hard question to answer because in one sense, yes, you want as much time to be right on your binary. Okay. Hey, I think the market's going to go up and I think it's going to be above this price by this time. Your binary expires and you were wrong. But an hour later, it did get there. And you're like, well, I was right. I just didn't have enough time to be right. Okay. We've all had that happen with binaries, right? Well, the opposite could be true too of I'm in a 5-minute binary. My indicator is telling me the market's going up right now. I only need a couple of ticks or 1 tick to win on this binary. And I win on that 5-minute binary. But then in 10 minutes, the market goes back. So it's all dependent on what your strategy or system is. Is your strategy a longer term strategy or shorter term strategy? And that's going to be, your strategy determines your binary you choose, and your binary you choose should be determined by the strategy you're using. You know what I mean? Let's see here, Rose. What does that mean? Actually, I'll show you some examples of that here in just a second, Rose. Okay, I'll show you how some of that works. So, everybody understand early evening and overnight. Okay, what markets you want to be kind of looking at there. So, we talked a little bit about this, and now I'm going to kind of go back to it about news. All right, so another thing, we talked about the news calendar earlier. and how that was basically a news trading plan there that was free for you to use. It tells you exactly what we're looking for and so on. Let's just say, and I'm using 5-minute binaries as an example right now because we're talking about nighttime, and they're offered at night. They're offered during the day as well. But if I'm a part-time trader and I've only got 2 or 3 nights a week that I can take away from my life and from my family to trade, and so I want to make the most, no, Tony, this is not Forex indices, just the Forex pairs. So I want to make the most of my trading time. Do you think that I may want to, if I can only devote 3 evenings to trading, would I maybe want to pick the slowest, nothing going on, no movement, no news events, just flat nights? Or would I maybe want to try to get in on the nights where I know there's some movement going on so I can take advantage of those moves, especially if I'm only trading 5-minute binaries? Okay, that's another key thing about this news trading plan. Exactly, Phyllis. You want movement. If I only got a little bit of time, you know, why would I want to just sit there and do nothing? You know, I want to get in on days where there's movement going on. So not only is this news trading plan powerful because it's a free trading plan for you, but it also helps you plan your week. Okay, you know, and for example, and this may not be the best week to look at, there might be something every night, but there's some weeks where, okay, I'm looking at night. Sunday night, all right, we've got some stuff going on. There's some Japanese news, and then later at night there's some pound news. Oh, but what's going on Monday night? 6:45 we got news, 9 o'clock we got news, 9:30. All right. Okay. If you're looking at this calendar, all right, and I'm not, okay, I'm just using this as an example here. See here on Tuesday night, there's quite a few news events at night, right? What about Wednesday night? Well, we had an Aussie trade. Okay, there was something going on with Aussie about 9:30. All right, Thursday night, yeah, there's some Aussie news there, some Euro news overnight. But there might be certain nights on certain weeks, this is a pretty big news week, where there's just nothing going on at night, okay? And so you may want to, when you're planning out your week, look at this calendar and say, I can devote 2 or 3 nights. Let's look at the news calendar. Okay, great. I want to trade those nights. And you also can look and see what time they come out and know, okay, I want to start trading around this time or a little before this time, okay? Now, with news trading, okay, with the 5-minute binaries, and I'm going to show you some ways that we do it, we're not looking to try to have a crystal ball and predict the news. Okay, there's a news event coming out, there's an interest rate event coming out, an inventory report. Is it going to be a positive or a negative report? It's going to be a good inventory or bad inventory. Don't get into that game, okay? It'll hit you every time. And whatever they're telling you on the TV is probably the opposite of what it's going to be. All right, what we're looking to do is let that news come out, let it start moving the markets, okay, and then have a strategy or system that give you some directional movement of where the market's going, all right, and being able to take advantage of that. So if you have limited time, again, don't just look at this news trading plan as a free trade plan, which it is, and it's great, but it's more than that. It does help you schedule and really focus where your part-time trading is going to take place, what nights it's going to take place, what hours. That way you can really hone in and make the most of your part-time trading. Okay, does that make sense? I know some of this seems very basic and very elementary, but for some people that are new, if you really get those 2 things of the US markets are open this time, Japan and Australia are open this time, Europe's open this time. That right there alone helps you know what times that something's going on with what markets, So therefore, what I'm trying to tell you to do is if you're a part-time trader and you get home from at night and it's 7 o'clock at night, don't go over here to commodities and try to figure out how to take advantage of gold for the next day at 1:30, watching a gold chart at night. You're not going to be trading very long, or you're going to be watching TV or bored, okay? What you want to do is know, where is the action going on? Where do I focus? And that's the first thing you got to understand, is what markets are opening when, where is the most likely place for movement, and let's look at the news calendar and let's see what's going on that night or that day, okay? So you know what's happening, and then you also can take advantage of the plans that are on here, all right? Whether it's the iron condors or the straddles or whatever it may be. So again, seems very basic and elementary, but I can't tell you how many people I've had that just didn't understand that and wasted a lot of time looking at the wrong things, okay? Let's see here. What was the other stock index you mentioned? German DAX? Yes. Let me pull it back over here. Yes, if you're looking on the Nadex platform here, under indices, doesn't matter whether you're looking at binaries or spreads, these bottom four, okay, these bottom four are the US indices. The Japan 225, that's the Nikkei, or the Nikkei, however you want to say it. Germany 30, that's the DAX, okay, or the FDAX, which is the German index. And then the FTSE, okay, that's the London index. And then obviously you've got your China 50, which is the China index, okay? What time do the Dow and S&P open in the evening, please? LW, obviously the Dow and the S&P, which is the US 500 and the Wall Street 30 on Nadex, okay? They're open right now on Nadex, okay? You have daily binaries and weekly binaries that are available. Those binary markets with Nadex open up at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Now, obviously the trading pit for those indexes, like the daily US trading pit, it's open at 9:30, okay, for the actual trading, the US trading session. But you can get, like the Nadex is at 6 o'clock for the indexes and commodities and all that, 6 o'clock Eastern time, okay? All right, so let's talk real quick. Everybody understands the news trading calendar and why that's so important. Let's talk real quick about 5-minute binaries. And I'm not going to dig into these and go through step-by-step rules of our trading systems. I'll show you where you can go and watch free videos for step-by-step of that. But I want you to understand real quick how powerful the 5-minute binaries are, okay? The way that we trade, and I know there's a bunch, everybody's got their own trading style, trading systems, bunch of different ways to trade them. The way that we trade 5-minute binaries are scalp trades, okay? We do very quick, short-term directional scalps, and kind of we get in and we get out. What does scalping mean? Well, if you buy a binary, let's just go through it here real quick. If I were to buy a binary, I'm just going to choose as an example. Let's do an Aussie dollar for 9 o'clock. Okay, now this is not a trade recommendation. I'm just showing you an example here. All right, and if any of you are not familiar with basics of a binary, how a binary works, you can find those videos on our site. But let's just say, for example, I bought this. Let me get out of here. Come on. I think I've got too many things open right now. All right, let's say I bought this binary right here for $52.50. At expiration, or it's $32.50. At expiration, that binary will be worth what? Either 0 or 100, correct? But I don't have to hold it till expiration. I can get out of it early. So if I buy it for 35 bucks, 36 bucks, thinking the market's going to go up, and the market does go up, and then here in a little bit, this binary is now worth 70 bucks. And I can sell it back for 70 bucks. So I bought it for 35 or bought it for 32. I sold out of it at 70. Yes, I could have held it to expiration and it might have been worth 100 bucks. But the market can also come back against me, correct? So you can hold a contract to expiration or you can get out of it early. And that's what we call scalping. Let's say I buy something for 30 because my chart's telling me it's going up. I buy it for 30, it goes up, now it's worth 65 or 70, and I just get out. Quick scalps, okay? That's what a scalp is, all right? Let's look at these 5-minute binary contracts for just a minute here, because they're about to, remember I told you they don't offer contracts the last 5 minutes of the hour? We're coming up to 5 minutes of the hour, so I'm not going to be able to show you on the platform here. Let's just go back over to our PowerPoint. The 5-minute binaries, those strikes are 3 ticks wide. What do I mean by 3 ticks wide? Remember? See, there's 5 different contracts available here. 670, 673, 676, 670. So there's only 3 ticks between each strike. Look at this one right here. This 76.79. I can buy it for $10.25, right? Look at this one that's 3 ticks difference. $67. See that? Let's hop on over to the dollar yen real quick. One's $10, one's $70 by just 3 ticks difference. 3 ticks is nothing, okay? So what I'm trying to show you there is how powerful scalping can be, because I don't need a big, huge run in the market. I don't need crazy big movement, okay? I just need a couple of ticks to be able to make some quick money and get out, okay? Sharon, I'll talk about some charts right here in just a second, actually. Great question. So here's another example of dollar yen, for example. I want to show you this, okay? Follow me here, okay? Pay real close attention here. Yes, ticks and pips are the same, okay? Talking about the last digits quoted, okay? So, for the dollar yen, for example, it's these first two, like 119.49. So I want you to look at this strike right here, 119.53. This is a 5-minute binary contract, okay? It opened up at 4:45, and it's going to expire at 4:50, okay? So 119.53 is the strike. I've got 3 minutes and 57 seconds left to expiration. Right now I can buy it for $24.50. Where's the market? 119.49, okay? Pay close attention to that. 119.49. Now it's at 119.49.7, so it's a little lower than where it was a minute ago, right? And I've got 2 minutes and 2 seconds till expiration. Now what's it worth? Only 10 bucks, right? Just that little bit of difference, it went down quite a bit. So watch this, 0.4975, boom. Now 0.514, market's popped up. Now where are we? 33 bucks. And I've got a minute and 33 seconds to expiration. So 119.51, now look, 119.52, now what's it worth? 50 bucks. Okay, do you guys see that? How just a few ticks of difference can have a big effect on the price of 5-minute binaries. I mean, for example, look back at this. Our strike of 119.53 compared to 119.50, only 3 ticks. And look at the difference here, 33 and 88. Okay, so Actually, Mike, that's not true. A couple of y'all are asking about, well, bid-ask spread. Okay, well, bid-ask spreads can be different based on time of day, what you're trading, is there news, is there IV, okay? But when you're looking for 3 ticks, and 3 ticks can make the difference of 33 to 88, are you really worried about bid-ask spread on some of these here? If you're looking to just do a quick scalp, and let's say you're looking to do a one-to-one, let me just show you here. Let's say you're looking to do a quick scalp for approximately 20 bucks. All right, so what I mean by that is, you know, you're going to risk 20 or 30 bucks, like an example we just did. We bought at 32, okay, and then it went up to, or then it was down. Remember, originally started at 32, then it went down to 10 bucks. And then if you were watching a chart, you got an indication that the market was going up. It popped up to about 25 bucks. And then just a couple ticks later, it was worth 50 bucks, right? So what we're looking to do there with scalping is you're looking to risk 20 or 30 bucks to make 20 or 30 bucks, okay? And so when you get closer to expiration, that binary has to get closer to being worth 100 bucks or zero. So it can start to move very fast. So if you buy something for say 30 bucks and the market goes up just a tick or two, that binary is in the money already because there's only 3 ticks wide on those strikes. So that binary is in the money. So now it's probably worth about 50. And then the closer you get to expiration, it's going to start moving 60, 70, 80. It's got to get closer to 100 bucks. So what you're looking for there, again, is just a couple of ticks of movement to get you 20 or 30 bucks on a $20 or $30 risk. So we've got 2 different ways that we here at Apex trade 5-minute binaries. One of them, and I'm just going to briefly show you the 2 of them, and then I'll show you where you can get all the info you want on them, okay? One of them is called our trend catcher system, all right? We use that on 5-minute binaries, and we do out-of-the-money binaries with those, meaning very low risk. It's very simple. Don't be all overwhelmed by this chart. It's very, very simple, okay? See these squares here? Those are 5-minute time frames. These are your bars. What happens right here? When you get a red arrow signal, that probably means sell, right? Boom, what happens? You enter a 5-minute binary. Each one of these bars is a tick down. So boom, sell signal, 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks. You just moved a whole strike right there. $30, $40 difference in those prices there, minus your bid offer, right? Here, got a buy signal, bought, boom, 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 sell. That's it. Like that's the system there. And again, it doesn't take a whole lot of movement, just a couple of ticks to get you up to that next strike and be able to get in and out real quick, scalping, okay? You know, we do take into consideration with this particular system we use our expected volume indicator as well. We like to see volume going also. That's what we call our trend catcher system, okay? And it's basically set up very easily on these arrows up and down to buy or sell, and does volume line up? Are you close to the end of the range or not? That's one of the ways that we trade 5-minute binaries, and I'll show you here in a minute exactly where you can go to get information on getting these charts, these indicators, step-by-step rules on 5-minute binaries, okay? We have guys that trade this all the time. We have some guys that all they do is trade 5-minute binaries because they love them because they can do them 23 hours a day, every 5 minutes, 44 opportunities an hour. They have 4 of these charts up, so they got a chart on each of those FX pairs, and that's what they trade, okay? Now, for this particular system, okay, like I said, we use out-of-the-money binaries, all right? So that's where we're doing the lower risk, cheaper, like $20 or $30 binaries, looking for that quick movement. And again, remember I told you, it's all about what system you're using. This system is not a long-term day, weeks and days trending system. This trend catcher is designed to show the immediate direction of the market, to take immediate, quick opportunity within just the next couple of minutes of which way is it going. And again, all you need is a few ticks, all right? So we're focusing more on the quick, immediate trend on volume. We want movement with this market because, again, we're using out of the money binaries, so we have to have movement to make any money. We have to have movement in our direction. So it's vital that we are paying attention to volume and speed of the market because we're trying to take advantage of that speed, take advantage of that quick directional move, okay? And again, a huge, big reason why when trading this system, we really keep an eye on the news plan to be able to hop in these type of trades using this system after news events when there's going to be some movement in the market, okay? Another way that we trade 5-minute binaries is our binary hunter system. This one's a little bit different, okay? Same thing, each of these boxes represents a 5-minute time period. And here, just a quick overview of the rules, and I'll show you where you get all this. When the price is underneath this yellow line here, we're not doing any, we only go in the direction of the price, okay? Meaning, with this system, we're not looking for the volume necessarily. We're not looking for the quick volume. What we're looking at is this one's based on price. Okay, this one is more based on, we're using at the money or in the money binaries. We're normally trying to buy a binary for about 60, 65, the most 80, but we're normally trying to go for like 60 bucks and then try to scalp it and say get out at like 95 bucks. Okay, still a scalp, or a lot of times these will sometimes be held to expiration, but this is more based on price action, not volume. What we're looking for to go long, to buy, for example, is we want the price to come up and hit the yellow line, go above the yellow line, we get another green bar confirming going long, and then we're going to buy half a tick above that right here. And we're going to buy an at the money, in the money. So we don't need the market to go up 3 ticks or have a big spike up. We just need it to stay above where we bought because we're doing just in the money there, okay? We're not going out of the money needing 3 ticks of movement. It can just go up 1 tick or 1/10 of a tick and stay there, and we're good because we're in the money. So does that make sense? One of them is based on volume, needing movement in the market, requires a little more reading the market, reading volume. That way one of those cheap out of the monies will go from 30 to 70. You have to have movement for that to happen. With this system here, if we're buying an in the money binary, we don't need movement. We just need it to stay above where we bought it, even if it's only 1/10 of a tick or 1 tick, okay? To give you an example of a short entry, same thing. We're not going to go short. We're not going to sell until the price comes below the yellow line. Then we got another red bar to confirm it. Then we're going to sell here. And all we need it to do is just stay under that, and we win, okay? I'll show you where you can get more information on these charts. And some of you are asking, how do I get these charts? I'll show you that here in just a minute. All right, so I know I ran through those real quick. I'm going to show you where to get detailed info. One of them, we're using cheaper out of the money binaries requiring volume and movement. The other one, we're using price action, showing us that the price is going up or going down. We're going with in the money binaries, and all we need is for the price to stay up there. Doesn't have to move, just has to stay there. So it's 2 different systems of how to trade 5-minute binaries. So if, because we've talked a lot about news and volume and really planning out your part-time trading. If you're only available to trade on a night where there's not a lot of news and not a lot of volume movement, the binary hunter may be a better strategy for that night because it doesn't have to have movement and action. It's just got to get up to a certain level, you buy, and as long as it stays above that certain level, even if it just stays flat above that certain level, as long as it stays above that level, your binary still wins, because one of them we're using an out of the money, the other one we're using a in the money. Okay, so maybe that kind of pieces a little more of this together for you, to where you want to look at your schedule, look at the news, look at what markets are open. Then it's okay, is it a volume night and things are moving? Maybe I want to use this system. Is it not really moving? So I want to use this system. And therefore, depending on those market conditions and what system I'm using, one of them I'm going to use an out of the money binary, one of them I'm going to use an in the money binary. Those are all kind of key things you learn to piece in together, all based on the market conditions that night compared to what strategy you're using. Does that make sense there, or did I lose a few of you there? It's all about having more than one play in your book. You hear us say that all the time. You're not going to win a football game by doing a Hail Mary every time, right? You want to have more than one club in your golf bag, more than one tool to build a house. And that's what the difference is there. Both of them are on 5-minute binaries, two different strategies, two different types. Okay, those are the main two ways that we trade 5-minute binaries. Hop on over. You know, even at night, you know, we've got these charts posted in our elite signal room, and our some of our leaders are in there, you know, teaching the system, calling out trades, answering questions. You know, all the charts are just right there for everybody to see and learn off of together. It's really great. Let me just pop on over. I'm going to pause right here for a minute, and let's just clarify those two things right there. Okay. If you're on our website, apexinvesting.com, you want to go right here to this tab, Binary Essentials. Number 3, Trading System Courses. Okay. Remember the first one we covered, 5-minute binary trend catcher course. That was the first one I showed you, with the signal arrows up or down, where we're looking for volume, doing out of the money quick scalps. That's where you find step-by-step detailed course of that. That will also go through and show you what's involved in getting into those rooms. It'll show you what's involved in getting access to the charts I showed you, and what's involved with getting access to the indicators. All right, some of you are asking about that. It's all that information is right there. The second one I showed you, that was based on price action of the price coming above or below the yellow gold line. That's Binary Hunter. It's right here. Step-by-step videos, forum posts, screenshots, Q&A for those two particular systems right there. Okay, so any questions about those two 5-minute binary systems? It's all right there for you, free to watch, free to go through. Okay, so that is 5-minute binaries. Now, we've mainly right now so far been talking about nighttime trading, and I focused a little more there on 5-minute binaries. Now, keep in mind, we're going to go into daytime part-time trading now. You can do the 5-minute binaries all day as well, okay? It's just there's some other options also during the day. So don't think that because I covered it under the nighttime section, you can't do it during the day. You can do this 23 hours a day on 5-minute binaries, all right? It's just because there's not 20-minute binaries at night, that's why I focused on that a little more. So nighttime traders probably want to really look at 5-minute binaries with either one of those courses, or you want to really learn these iron condors, okay? Because a lot of those news trades for iron condors are at night as well on the news trading plan. So for you nighttime part-time traders, I hope that helps a little bit. Just a quick summary, we know that Australia and Japan are open up early evening. We know your European markets are overnight. You know you want to pay close attention to the news trading plan to know what nights of the week might have more movement, and therefore when you want to schedule it. And you also know that there's two different ways that we trade 5-minute binaries. One is lower risk out of the money, needing movement of volume. The other one is at the monies on price action. Okay, and again, on our website, Binary Essentials #3 step-by-step course is there. Okay. Let's see here. Steve, what strategy would you use for be aware, or should I stay away from them? You know, with the be aware, you know, what's safest to do is, you know, if something's supposed to come out at 9:30, that news event, that be aware news event, you may want to not take the, you may want to sit out of that one and not take the 9:30 to 9:35 5-minute binary. Like, let it come out, let us do its little thing with the market, if it has any effect at all. I mean, half of those be awares won't even have a movement on the market, or some of them might, and just real quick, and then it's done. Okay, so if it's a be aware, just stay out of that 5-minute one and wait till the next one. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to lose out on one 5-minute period to be safe, you know. That's what I would say to do, is to just kind of stay out of it. All right, and wait 5 more minutes. Let's see here. Can someone trade Forex and binaries on the same platform? Yes, absolutely. We use the NinjaTrader platform, and we use that as our charting, like all of our indicators and tools work. Let's see here. On NinjaTrader, and we have guys that trade futures and Forex on NinjaTrader, but they also use those charts to help them determine their Nadex binaries and spread trades as well. Okay, so but you can't actually trade Nadex from a outside platform, though. You can't submit it on an MT4 or NinjaTrader chart. You have to submit it from the platform. Okay, so let's move on here. I know we're kind of already going over here. Daytime. Pretty much everything I've told you about nighttime, part-time trading at night, you can just bring that right over into daytime. Okay, it's not a huge different world. It's just during the day, you've got a few more options available to you. Okay, because now the US markets are all opened up, right? And now you can trade a lot of different things, because you've got everything going on in the US. You've got, you know, something we haven't talked a whole lot about is commodities: copper, corn, oil, gold, natural gas, soybeans, silver. All those markets are opened up, and they have hourly expirations, 2-hour expirations, end of day. So you've got a lot of options there. The, you know, stock markets are open. So, you know, on the 4 US indices, you know, the Dow and S&P and all that, you've got the daily expirations, the hourly expirations, and 20-minute binaries on those 4. Okay. You still have binaries on the FTSE and the DAX going all the way until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you have all of your FX pairs, all 10 FX pairs with hourly expirations. And you still have your 5-minute binaries. So during the day, there's just more options to choose from. Okay, so the same things apply. You can still do the 2 strategies we talked about for the 5-minute binaries. You just have a lot more things you can choose from now as well. You know, we have, like I said, we have some part-time traders that actually trade during their lunch break at work. And if you add it all up, between all that stuff I just showed you with FX, indices, commodities, intraday, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, for a 1-hour lunch break, you actually have 80 different options. You actually have 80 different expirations that can happen during that hour between all of those. Okay, so I know I keep repeating this, but you have a ton of options with Nadex, whether you're trading at night, overnight, or during the day part-time. There's always something. Do I have the 20 minutes on all FX pairs during the day? Remy, no. Once again, 20-minute binaries are only on the 4 US indices, nothing else. Okay? 20-minute binaries are only on the 4 US indices. 5-minute binaries are only on for the FX pairs. Okay? So again, on the Nadex platform here, 5-minute binaries, those are the only 4 markets they're offered on, nothing else. 20-minute binaries, we're not going to see them now because they're not open. They're only open during the day. 20-minute binaries are only on these bottom 4 US stock indices. And those are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay? So that's why I was saying that. That's why we didn't really cover those at night, because those are only during the daytime. All right? So you have a ton of options during the day. So everything from the nighttime still applies as far as the 5 minutes. You just now have other things during the day you can trade. Okay? Shot, yes, that is correct. Daytime, JP, yes, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the 20-minute binaries for the U.S. stock indexes. I believe the first one opens at 9:40, like it starts at 9:40 and will expire at 10 a.m. Then you got another one that expires at 10:20, 10:40, 11, and so on. Okay. And again, some of this might be confusion for you guys. Like I mentioned a little while ago, some of y'all might have missed it. It was in the beginning. Go to, if you ever get confused about what's available to trade, for one, just go to the Nadex platform and you'll see what's open. And very quickly, you'll learn it and know what's available. Otherwise, go to nadex.com, go to markets, and it'll show you stock indexes, Forex, commodities, and click on contract specs, and then it'll just show you right here. Like Wall Street 30, which is the Dow, it'll show you 20-minute contracts, expire this time, intraday. It'll list out for you right there what is available and what's not. Okay? So, all right, let's move on here real quick. As far as some other ways to, if you're a part-timer, we've talked about 5-minute binaries. How are a couple of ways to take advantage of the 20-minute binaries? Again, as a part-timer, you need very short-term strategies or systems. I've covered these 2 systems, the butterflies and the strangles, the last couple of weeks. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it right here. I'm going to run through it and then show you where to get detailed information. Okay? But a couple of ways real quick here that we trade the 20-minute binaries. One of them is called a butterfly. All right? If you're looking at the chart here, one quick thing. See this expected volume indicator? This is key to the next 2 strategies I'm going to review with you. Can everybody see the yellow line there? Okay? That yellow line, what that is historically the expected level of volume historically for this day of the week and this time of that day. The blue shading you see is the actual current volume, meaning right here, for example, the expected volume historically was right here, but the blue shading went past it, so it had higher than expected volume. See right here, yellow line, and you see a little bit of white shade, like the blue, the current volume, did not even reach where it was expected to go, so that means it was a low volume period. So, low volume period, not a lot going on in the market, not a lot of movement. How can we take advantage of that? Again, these square boxes are 5-minute periods. It's what's called our expected range, meaning right here when this opened up, the market was not expected to go higher than this or lower than this. It's expected to stay in this range, plus volume's not going crazy, so it's kind of a flat market. So one thing we could do is what's called a butterfly. What is a butterfly? Butterfly would be if I sold a binary right here saying What am I saying when I'm selling a binary? I'm saying the market will stay below this level, right? I could also buy a binary down here. If I buy a binary, what am I saying? That the market will stay above this level. So if I am seeing that the market's flat and no volume going on, if I buy here and at the same time sell up here, so I'm into two binaries at once. I'm buying one and selling one, and I'm wanting the market to expire right in the middle, then what can happen? I can profit on both sides, right? Because this one expired true because the market stayed below. This one expired true because the market stayed above. So that is one of the ways to take advantage of slow times. Okay, Tony, it's not really hedging. It's more of, well, what we call a butterfly, where if I was going to hedge, normally when you hedge, a hedge is when you're trading directionally of, hey, my strategy or system, my chart indicators are telling me to go long, to buy, that the market's going up. But just in case I'm gonna go long, I'm gonna buy. But just in case I'm wrong, I'm gonna place a hedge somewhere short to help me out, just in case I'm wrong. Okay, this one's not so much a hedge as it is, hey, I don't have a directional trade here. The market's not clearly going straight up. It's not clearly going straight down. There's not a clear trend. There's no trend. Okay, this isn't about a clear trend. This is more of, it's a flat market. There's no trend. So how can I take advantage of that? You know, because we've talked about, you know, like with the 5-minute binaries, you need movement. We want movement. Well, how do I trade this 20-minute binary on ES? Someone's asking, what is ES? ES is just the chart symbol for the S&P 500, which is the US 500 on Nadex. Okay. So how do I take advantage of a flat market? Well, by doing in the money binaries. So I'll buy here and sell here, two different binaries. All I need to do is expire in the middle between these two, and I win on both sides. Okay, here's a quick example. I bought one at 82.50. I sold one at 19.50. So at the time of this screenshot, the one I bought was up $12.50. The one I sold was up 12 bucks. If it expired in the money, I'd make, about 40 bucks on that trade. Okay, so it's just finding where, there's no volume and the market's going to be flat, and being able to take advantage of a flat market by buying and selling. Okay, so you buy a call below and sell one below. Actually, Shrot, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm selling above, because with a binary, if I sell a binary right here, I'm saying the market will not go above that. If I'm buying a binary right here, I'm saying the market will stay above it. So I'm buying down here and selling up here. Okay, and I'll show y'all where to get some more detailed information on this here in a minute on our website. I'll show you exactly where to go to get more information. It'll also give you information about maximum risk, how much you should risk. If a market goes against you one side or the other, where to exit the other side and take profit on the other. That way you keep your risk reward ratios in check and keep this about a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, where, if I'm going to make 30, I'm only going to risk 30. Okay. Let's see here. Rob, when the P&L is green, is that the profit over the cost of the contract? Yes, that's correct. So like, for example, on this here, +1 means I bought, -1 means I sold. So this one I bought 82.50. So I bought it for 82.50. That was my open price. That's where I bought in. Now the current price is at 95. My profit, I'm up $12.50 so far on that, right? Here I sold for 19.50. Now it's down at 7.50. So my profit is 12. So yes, green P&L means what you're up. Red P&L would be if you were down. Okay. So that's a butterfly. That's one of the ways that we do take advantage of the 20-minute binaries. So again, if you're a part-time trader early in the morning or a break at work, you hop on, nothing's going on with the market, kind of a flat day, no volume going on. Oh man, I can't trade. No, you actually can. I'm showing you how to take advantage of a flat day in just a 20-minute time period, and then do it again the next 20 minutes and the next 20 minutes and so on if everything lines up. So I'll show you in a minute where to get more detailed on that. Another thing we can do, okay, Mark, is a butterfly and iron condor the same thing? Pretty much, same concept, just butterflies we're doing with binaries, and condors we do with spreads, but yep, it's the same thing. You're buying one, selling one, wanting the market to expire in the middle to basically make the premium off each side. So yes, Mark, exactly. Okay. Is it best to close both legs before expiration? Yeah, I'll show you where you can get some more information about when to close butterflies and how to enter them and take profits. But yeah, I almost always exit early. There's very few binary strategies we teach that we hold to expiration. Almost all of them we exit early. Okay. So one other quick way to take advantage of 20-minute binaries. It's what's called a strangle. We've covered these. A lot of you are familiar with these. What is a strangle? Real quick. See this right here, 17,893. See this strike? This strike is 17,893, priced around 50 bucks. What does that mean? That means that is the at the money binary, which means the market is right now around 17,893. Right? Everybody understand that? If a binary is priced around 50 bucks, that means, because that's right, the strike is right about where the market is now. So let's say that, okay, we know what to do on a flat day. We do butterflies like we just did, okay? What do we do? We know what to do on a trending day when the market's going straight up or straight down and our charts are telling us that. It's easy to figure out how to directionally trade a binary. But what if it's a day where, man, the market's just volatile? It's going up, down, it's not clear direction, it's moving like crazy, but it's just not consistent up or down. How can we do anything with that? We know what to do with a flat market. We know what to do with a trending market. What do we do with a crazy volatile market? Well, if the market was right here, let's say up here, 18 bucks, I can buy this binary up here. Well, that binary is not going to be worth anything to me unless the market goes up, correct? That's an out of the money binary. It's a cheap binary. The market's right here. The market at 893. The market has to go up to 914. I mean, has to go in that direction. So the market's right here. If I buy this binary, the market has to go up towards there to be worth anything, right? What if I sell this binary down here? Well, the market's right here. The market has to go down for this binary to be worth anything. So let's say it's a crazy volatile day. Markets are going nuts. I don't know which way it's going. I'm definitely not going to do a butterfly hoping that it expires in the middle because it's crazy up and down. I'm not going to go for a range-bound strategy. What would I do? Well, what if I did both? What if I bought this one for 18 and I sold this one for 86? What would that mean? Let's take a look here. A little bit different looking chart. Notice, remember we talked earlier and what I say? I said the expected volume indicator is the key to the next two things I'm going to show you. What do you notice different on this chart about the last chart we looked at? Remember I talked about the yellow lines and the blue lines? You see volume's just blowing through the yellow line, right? Remember on the other one, it wasn't. Remember volume was low, market was flat, so we did a butterfly for it to stay in the middle. Here, volume's going crazy, and then over here, crazy. I'm also seeing up and down, right? So if I'm seeing a lot of volume, I don't necessarily want to do a range-bound strategy because I know the market's moving. How do I take advantage of that? I don't know which way it's moving. Well, what if remember how we talked about buying and selling at these lines? Well, this is the exact opposite of what we did a minute ago. Earlier, we sold up here, saying it won't go further than that. And we bought down here, saying it'll be above that, right? So we sold an in the money, and we bought an in the money down here. This is the opposite. Flip that over. We're not doing in the monies, we're doing out of the monies. And we're actually going to buy up here and sell down here. Why would we do that? Let's go back up here again. Remember, the market's right here. And it's volatile, up and down. I don't know which way it's going to go. So if I buy a cheap one up here, and I sell a cheap one down here, the market's here. Let's say it flies up. Well, now this $18 one's going to go way up in value, right? Or what if it flew down? This one's going to go up in value. So I don't know which way it's going to go. So I'm going to buy and sell to take advantage of which direction it might go. Now, so we're using out of the money binaries with very low risk. And with this strategy, we're expecting to lose on one side and profit on the other. It's not like the other strategy. The other strategy, we wanted to win on both sides, have it stay in the middle. With this one, we're expecting most of the time to lose on one side and make it up in the middle. Now, again, we have to do this only on days with lots of volume, because if the market stayed flat, we wouldn't make money on either side, would we? Because we're using out of the money binaries, which requires movement. All right. So, quick example here. I sold one for 86 down here. So if the market opened here, so if the market went down, this one I sold would become profitable. But look, it's showing a 0 P&L. This is worthless. I sold this one for 86. It didn't go my direction. It's worth nothing. Because what did it do? The market went up. So right up here when it went all the way up is where I took this screenshot. So I bought that one for $15.50. It's now worth $70. So I'm up. I'm profitable $54 on this side. Remember I said this is very low risk trading. Because when I sell for 86, that means I'm only risking $14 there. And I'm only risking $15 here. So I'm up $54 in profit on this trade. But I got to take out this $14 that I lost, right? So I'm really only up 40 bucks. But okay, I'm up 40 bucks. Right? So I knew the market was volatile, a lot of volume. I just didn't know when this opened up right here, I didn't know whether it was going to go up or go down. So I bought a cheap one up here in case it went up, sold a cheap one down here in case it went down. All right. Does that make sense there? It's totally opposite of what we did a minute ago. Okay. Yes, so you want to get out before expiration, because I took this screenshot right up here. When that bought it for 15 bucks, it went all the way up there. Now it's worth 70. Remember a couple of you keep asking me, why do you talk about scalping? Why do you talk about getting out early? Why don't you just hold it to the end and you can make more? Yeah, but also it could come against you by expiration and be worth nothing. Okay, so yes, with this strategy, you have to get out early. How do you know when to get out? Well, we've talked about this some. If I buy a binary for $15.50, what did I risk? I risked $15.50, right? That's my max I can lose. Tony, you're asking, how did you get 14 bucks? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Unless you mean right here. If I sell for $86, my risk is only 14 bucks. Because when you sell, your risk is the difference of where you sold compared to 100 bucks. Okay? So I'm risking 14 on this side, 15 on this side. So I'm risking about 30 bucks. So when my profit over here is up, okay, so if I'm risking 30 bucks on this trade, do I want to risk 30 bucks in order to only make 10? Is that a good risk reward? Is that good risk management? No, because every time I lose, I just wiped out 3 wins, correct? So I don't want to risk 30 to only make 5 or 10. If I want to risk 30, I want to try to make 30, right? So if I risked, if I risked 30, and I know going into this trade, all right, I bought one, I sold one, what's my risk? 30 bucks. So when my profit up here is up 30 bucks, do I want to get out? Not exactly, because I have to cover my risk of 30 bucks plus what I'm going to lose on the other side. And what did I lose on this side? 14. Does that make sense? So I'd want to know whether this side's up or this side's up, my total risk. So whenever I'm up my total risk plus what I'm going to lose on the other side, then I'll get out. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's not just some magical system of, oh, well, hey, all right, John, great webinar here. It's awfully convenient that you took that screenshot at the top there when you were way up, because look, it came down. Okay, that's not what's going on here. If you know ahead of time what's my risk, and you will know as soon as you get in. I risked 15, I risked 40, I risked 30 bucks. So on this side, if I'm up 30 bucks and then I get up another 14 to cover my loss here, I can exit the trade when it's up 44 and I made 30 bucks. Okay? So let's look at another quick example here. Aren't you double counting the 14? No, because if I think about it this way, if I exited here, Edward, if I exited here when it said plus 30, I'm only up 30 bucks on this trade. I'm 0 on this trade, so I'm down 14. So when this said plus 30, I made 30 bucks there, but I lost 14 over here. So I'd only be getting out of that trade with $16 of profit. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's where it's like, oh, gotcha, okay, because it seems like I'm double counting the 14, but I'm not. You have to add up your total risk plus your loss on the other side. That tells you when to get out. Okay, does that make sense? All right, now let's look at one other quick example here where the opposite happened. All right, so sold one for 83, which means my risk was 17. Bought one for 25, so my risk was 25. So 25, 35, about $42 in risk, right? So that, again, what's happening? I see the market zigzagging, lots of volume. So right here, bought one, sold one. So the one I bought, not worth anything because the market didn't go up there. So this one I bought for $25.50, worthless. I lost 25 bucks. This one I sold for 83, so at a $17 risk, what happened? The market went down. So again, at the time of this screenshot, I was up $64.50 on this side of the trade, on my sold side. But did I really make $64.50? No, because I lost 25 on this side, so I'm really up, well, about 40 bucks. Okay, does that make sense? Here's another one, same thing. Bought one, sold one. And again, I'm going to keep going back. Do not get all excited by these numbers I'm showing you and be like, oh man, so I can go risk 15 on one side and 15 on the other. Man, I'll do that all day. I love that. Yeah, don't just go out there and do it. Never go and do an out of the money, cheap $15 binary just because it's cheap. Because if you do that, you're just throwing your money away. You have to have a reason to do it. And what is my reason to do that on this chart? What do you possibly see on this chart that might have given me a reason to use this strategy? Boom, 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 boom. Volume, volatility. Okay, so somebody's asking, so buying at lower amounts is more of a risk if the tick is lower than the strike, or so selling at a higher amount is less. Yes, that's called out of the money binaries, Rose. Out of the money binaries is when the market is not there yet. Like if the market's at 100 and I buy a binary at 110, the market has to move up 10 points just to get there, right? So they're going to be very cheap. It's called out of the money. So why would I possibly want to do that? I would only want to ever do that if I'm expecting movement in the market. I'm expecting volatility in the market. Not just because, hey, let's pull up the Nadex platform here real quick, and let's go right here. I'm going to do some trading. Let's go to Forex. Let's see what's going on with the dollar yen for the 10 o'clock expiration. All right, 10 o'clock. Ooh, check that out. $8. I could buy that for $8 right now. If the market if it expires in the money, I'll get $100 back. Ooh, let's buy it. Okay. What is this? This strike is 122.70. Where's the market right now? 122.49. 22 ticks away from the market. Does that make any sense just to go randomly buy that? No, not without knowing something, not without looking at something, not without having a chart telling me the market's going up. Okay, so I want to make sure that's clear. These are great trades. I love these trades. These are probably one of my favorite trades because they're just so easy to put on and manage. And they're very low risk, but you can't just randomly do them. You have to have a reason why you do them. With any binary or any trading system at all, you can't just go take something because it looks low risk with a high payout. You've got to have a reason for doing it. And the reason is this crazy volume. Okay? What's the best time frame for this strategy? 5 minutes, 20 minutes, or longer versions? Sherrod, you can do this with anything. You can do this with 5-minute binaries. You can do this with 20-minute binaries, or you can do it with hourly binaries. All the examples I'm showing you on these charts are the 20-minute binaries. Okay, those are my favorite to do it on. You can do it on anything you want, but 20-minute binaries are my favorite to do this strategy on. Also, again, since we're talking about part-time trading during the day, again, I'm going to go back to the example of I have a full-time job, I have an hour for lunch, I want to trade. Okay, so I'm on my lunch break for an hour, and I pull up the chart, and there ain't nothing going on. The market's slow, dead, flat, no volume going on in the market. What can I do? Remember, that was the first thing we talked about. Butterflies, where we're buying and selling in the monies, wanting it to stay flat, expire in the middle, make money on both sides. And boom, that box is a 20-minute period, that box is a 20-minute period, that box is a 20-minute period. So if I've got an hour, how can I take advantage of 5-minute binaries? Well, we covered that. How can I take advantage of 20-minute binaries? Well, say it's a flat day, see, no volume, you do a butterfly on 20-minute binaries. Say I'm on my lunch break part-time trading, open up my charts, I see crazy days going on, I see volume going on like crazy. How can I take advantage of that for a couple of 20-minute periods on my lunch break? I can go risk 15 or 20 bucks on each side, take advantage of volatility. Okay, so yes, this is called strangles, absolutely. Put your account with successful trades. Do you purchase after you build up your account with successful trades? Do you then purchase 2 or 3 in quantity to make your time worth more? Phyllis, absolutely. That's exactly. These examples we're showing here, like risk 20 on this side, risk 21 on this side. So I'm up 52 bucks. take out my loss here, so I'm up about 30 bucks. Well, see here, quantity of 1. So on that trade, made 30 bucks. What if I'd have did 5 contracts? Made 150 bucks. What if in the next 20 minutes I did it again? There's another 150 bucks and then another 150 bucks. Yes, starting off trading, you may be doing only 1 contract at a time, but you can do 1, you can do 5, you can do 10, you can do 100. Okay, so all right. So we've gone through nighttime, we've gone through daytime, we've gone through 5 minutes. When we covered the 5 minutes, I showed you where to find the step-by-step training courses for those 5-minute binary systems. Remember, I showed you here, binary hunter for 5 minutes, 5-minute binary trend course. Okay, these last 2 that we just covered on the 20-minute binaries, the first one was called butterflies, right there. Second was called strangles, right there. Okay, remember I told you at the end I'd bring you back. I know we kind of blew through those real quick, but I want to, right there, it's the same place I keep taking you to on the site here. Binary Essentials, Trading System Courses, bam, bam, bam. They're all laid out right there for you, exactly how to do them, okay? How to set up charts, how to get charts, how to get access to our rooms and indicators, free step-by-step courses, all right there. So that was probably a lot of information and might have been a little bit of overload for you guys. Again, that's why I was just kind of briefly covering them and then showing you where you can get step-by-step info. What I was trying to get across to you, and I hope you get this, was if you're part-time trading, doesn't matter if you can only trade during the day, during the night, early morning, late morning, there's always something for you to trade on Nadex. Whether you're trading 5-minute binaries, 20-minute binaries, hourly, daily, whether you're doing spreads throughout the day or night, iron condors, straddles, strangles, there's always something for you to do there. And again, I think you also realized with the 5-minute binary systems, I showed you one that required volume and movement, the binary hunter that wasn't looking at for crazy volume and volatility, just for price action to just kind of stay where it is. Then during the daytime and the 20-minute binaries, I showed you, here's a way to take advantage of a flat market where there's nothing going on. Here's a way to take advantage of a crazy market. My point is, like I said earlier, having more than one play in your book is so important in trading, but even more important to a part-time trader, because when you've only got limited time to trade, when you can only take time out for a limited small amount of time throughout your day, oh, well, I can't trade today, it's nothing going on. Oh, well, I can't trade today because it's volatile and I don't know which way it's going to go. Yes, you can. I just showed you how to do that. And I'm showing you right here how to get more info on it. So just trying to help you out as a newbie, as a part-timer, that there is ways to take advantage of that. Don't feel like, hey, 4 days a week I try to hop in and trade, but the market's not doing the right thing, I can't trade. There's always a way to do it. Whether you're taking advantage of movement or taking advantage of flat, there's ways to do it, okay? Let's see here, Mark, I got interrupted during the presentation. Will this be added to, yes, this webinar that we're doing right now, as soon as we get off, I will start getting it uploaded. It should be under the newest webinars right here, question section, trading questions forum. Every webinar we do is recorded, and once we're done here, I will get this recording up. And if you go to the forum and then go down to watch webinars here, and it will be under the newest webinars section right here. Right here. Watch webinars here, newest webinars. You can go here and check this in a little while and see if it's updated. The easiest way to get notification of that, though, whenever we have a new webinar or a new event, the easiest way, because otherwise it may take me a little bit of time to get this uploaded, and you're coming and you're checking this and it's not there, and you're checking it again and it's not there. Like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/apexinvesting and follow us, like us. This is a great place to get notification. We're not going to blow you up with all kind of craziness. This is where we post any new event going on, a new webinar, new trading systems, nice trading results, great videos we think you should watch that will happen. When post, every day, all day long, as traders in our rooms are posting saying, hey, made it happen today, I had 5 for 5 wins, here's what I did. We post this, you can see what other traders are doing, try to learn what they're doing, see how they're doing it. This is all just free information of literally traders helping traders. And so anytime we have a webinar, I go in and I create an event for that webinar. And then after the webinar is over, I'll update it to say recording of this webinar now available. Here's the link. So you can keep going to the to the forum to check it to see if it's up, or you can just see the notification on Facebook when it is up and check it out. So hop on over there. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/apexinvesting. Okay. Ron, if you take profit early on one of the out of the money binaries, is it okay to leave the other one open? Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Since the other one's already worthless anyway, there's nothing to close. So yeah, if you took profit on one side, leave the other one on. The market could come back and you might, remember I said on this strategy, we normally expect to lose on one side, but on the strangle, it can come back and you can make money on both. So how large must your account be to do this? JP, are you referring to the last one we just covered of strangles, or the butterflies, or the 5 minutes? Just want to clarify there. Again, risk management is, generally speaking, that's hard to say because it really does depend on what strategy you're using. If you're using a strategy that requires in the money binaries, where you're buying a binary for like $70 and therefore you could risk losing $70, you don't want to have just $100 in your account. You know what I mean? Because one trade and then, well, one trade goes bad and, what are you going to do? So you want to have, yeah, absolutely. I would say so. I would say if you're doing like in the money strategies like that, if you have, $500,000 in your account, then you'd probably be okay there. You might need a little less if you're doing these out of the money strategies, risking $15 on each side. Where can I find something about money management? Absolutely great question there. On our website, if you're in the forum, remember I showed you the forum, so if you're on Apex Home, if you're on the main homepage of our site, same place where the videos will be uploaded, the questions forum, the first couple sections here in the I clicked the wrong one. That is the calendar. If you go to our calendar, show you radio shows we do, webinars we do, and you can hop on there and join us anytime. But let's see here, Aloy right here, Trading Questions Forum. And there's a lot of info in this forum, but some really good stuff to go through. It's really worth doing it. Either way, Rose, it'll get you the same place, .net or .com, apex.net or .com. So right here in the forum, you got articles, Trading Questions Forum. This is a great place to go. Right here, especially this section, you can do this and why you should. This is where all our traders post, not all of them, but some of our traders in the rooms post their trades every day. Here's how I did today. Here's what I made today using this system. Here's what I did today on binary hunter trades, every day. And these are great trades to check out, and you see what other traders are doing, find out what systems they're using, and follow along, and might help you decide which system or strategy prefer. That's a great place to go to, is you can do this in Y. But right here, S1 Sanity and Psychology, Steward, Resource Management, and Scheduling. Those first three sections, Sanity, Steward, and Schedule, talk a lot about trading psychology and how to look at trading properly, how to overcome a bad day of trading and move forward, position size, risk tolerance, capital management, you know, what you should risk and what not, knowing when to stop every day, whether that means knowing when to stop when you're up or knowing when to stop when you're down. So Aloy, you were asking about trade management. Those are some good places there for you as well. Is there a training place for these strategies? Yes, Tony, that's right where I've been showing you those step-by-step training courses. Under the, if you're on the main page right here, Binary Essentials, Trading System Courses. Those are the step-by-step courses, okay? Everything's on Ninja. JP, yeah, all of our stuff works on Ninja there. So, all right, guys, we are, the training courses are all free. You can go through all those free. You can click on them right now and go through them, no problem. Guys, we have, how to build charts. Everything you need is all in there, step by step. We've gone way over here, guys. I appreciate your time. I hope tonight was helpful. I hope it kind of helped you understand that no matter what time of the day or night you're trading, there's always something to trade. And no matter what the market's doing, whether it's flat or volatile, there are ways to trade it with Nadex spreads, Nadex binaries. There really is a way to make it happen for you, okay? So hope that was helpful for you. I will get this video up and posted for you if you want to go back and watch it. Again, if you're not already a free member, go to apexinvesting.com, sign up with a free username and password, hop in and watch those step-by-step training courses, and it'll really help you through there. If there's anything we can help you with, hop on the forum there, ask us a question in the forum, go to the help desk and ask us. We're here to help, do whatever we can. Watch those videos, let us know if there's anything we can do for you, and we are definitely here to help. Shrat, that would be the elite trading room that you're looking for there to answer your question, okay? All right, guys, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week on Monday, hopefully. Again, we do these webinars every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us every Monday. Follow us on facebook.com/apexinvesting to get notified of those webinars and what the subjects will be, and the link to sign up for the webinars. Okay? All right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for the great feedback. Have a good night, and we will see you again next Monday evening. All right, thank you. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate it. All right, see you guys then. Bye.